this woman is given by God himself, has also mystified many interpreters. Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots and the abominations of the earth. Chapter 17, verse 5. Alternately, she is called the Great Harlot, chapter 17, verse 1, or in other translations, the Great Whore or the Great Prostitute. So who or what does this woman represent? Is she active in our world today? She is described repeatedly as a city, but what city does she represent? Can she be identified? Does properly understanding this passage have any actual, real-world implications or applications for us today? Could there be any relationship between this woman and the global rise of radical Islam? Does this passage have anything to say about the future of the United States? Bible students and teachers alike have wrestled with many of these questions, literally, for millennia. It is unfortunate that many pastors and teachers today view the answers to these questions, attempting to actually identify Babylon the Great, as the purview of fringe armchair theologians and end-time fanatics. No doubt for some this is the case, but these answers are much more than strange prophetic trivia. We cannot expect, after all, to rightly understand the very culmination of God's grand plan of redemption while outright ignoring two of the final chapters of the Bible. When responsible and careful interpreters of the Bible avoid a particular topic, they only surrender it to those who are less than responsible and careful in their interpretations. Certainly many fringe Bible teachers have planted their stakes and laid claim to this segment of the Bible, but this is no excuse to avoid it. Quite the contrary. This is not a portion of the Scriptures that we can afford to abandon. As we will see, properly interpreting and wrestling through this prophecy and answering the many questions the text brings up indeed have some very real-world implications and pastoral application today. We will discuss many of these implications as we move forward. I've arranged this book into 3 parts. The first part is more expositional, but not necessarily verse by verse. Rather, I work through Revelation chapter 17 and 18 systematically and thematically, drawing out all the various descriptions of the Great Harlot, so you will know what to look for as I weigh the different positions that various interpreters have offered. In the second part of the book, I examine each of the more common positions, weighing their strengths and weaknesses. Finally, in part 3, I work extensively through the view that I am suggesting as the solution to this great mystery. If you are not so much interested in what I don't think the harlot Babylon is, then you can simply skip the second part of the book altogether and jump right into part 3. It is my most sincere hope that this audio program, which takes a very serious look at a position that has not been given much serious consideration, will become a valuable contribution to the discussion. I've striven as much as possible to make this study simple and straightforward. I truly hope I've succeeded. I pray this work will help shed greater light on a prophecy that is only going to become more and more relevant, particularly as we draw closer to that final day and the return of the glorious King, Jesus the Messiah. Part 1. The Bible's Greatest Prophetic Mystery. Chapter 1. The History of the Mystery. From the early days of Christianity, believers have struggled to understand the mystery of the Great Harlot. Scholars and students alike have arrived at many different conclusions. The purpose of this chapter is to survey the primary interpretations of this passage and their development and evolution throughout church history. Rome. Roughly 200 years after the book of Revelation was written, Lactantius, an early Christian writer from North Africa, believed the harlot was the city of Rome, which was still dominated by paganism at the time. Tertullian, Irenaeus, and Jerome all used the term Babylon to refer to the Roman Empire. But with the steady decline of pagan Rome, this view began to lose favor among Christians. By the 6th century, Andrew of Caesarea openly expressed his doubt concerning Lactantius's view, stating, "For old Rome lost its power of dominion a long time ago, and we do not suppose that ancient status will return to it." Rather than pointing to any particular city of his day, Andrew contended that Mystery Babylon represents a city that will arise in the last days and hold sway over much of the earth.